Happening now today, the last day in office for New York's governor, the latest on the state's transition of power. Plus, the search for a missing toddler in the Allegheny River has come to an end.
Well, it's another hot and humid week out there this week. How long will the heat last, and do we have any cooler air coming? I'll let you know coming up. The news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Today is New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's official last day in office. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. His resignation taking effect at 11:59 tonight, and at midnight Tuesday, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul set to be sworn in. Cuomo announced that 2 weeks ago amid impeachment attempts after the state's attorney general released a report finding he had sexually harassed 11 women. Cuomo denying all those allegations, saying he never touched anyone inappropriately, but acknowledged that some of his behavior made others feel uncomfortable. The governor delivered remarks just moments ago. You can watch that and more live coverage at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, several family members assisting in the search for a toddler believed to be missing in the waters of the Allegheny River in Warren County since Saturday found the little girl's body yesterday afternoon. Family members say the little girl named Izzy went outside Saturday morning with two other young siblings who say they saw her fall into the river. State police report a dive team deployed an underwater submarine to scan the waters. Several volunteers also assisted. The child's mother tells our news partner Erie News Now that while her worst fears came true, she's thankful her daughter's body was recovered so she can hold a funeral. An autopsy is expected to be performed in Erie to confirm the child's cause of death. Meanwhile, a male drowned overnight in Lake Erie near the Dunkirk City Pier. In a news release this morning, Dunkirk police report that two male subjects went into the water off the pier and only one exited just before 12:45 a.m. Officers responded to the area and with the help of the Dunkirk Fire Department and Chautauqua County Sheriff's Marine Unit began a search. Following an underwater search by the county's wet team, officers say a male body was recovered. The department did not confirm the age or identity of the victim, though. Well, the city of Jamestown was formally recognized for their decades-long history supporting Babe Ruth baseball during the league championship game on Saturday. In June, the municipality was inducted into the Babe Ruth International Hall of Fame, acknowledging the area's long history with the sport. Jamestown was first selected to hold a Babe Ruth World Series game in August 1980, with the city becoming the blueprint for others to follow. This year, Jamestown held its 17th World Babe Ruth Series Championship during the league's 40th season. Organizers were presented with a plaque at Russell E. Dietrich Jr. Park.
We've seen not only an economic boost, but we've seen people come explore and learn to love the city of Jamestown. And it's really been great to see as a young kid growing up, being able to come to these baseball games and see how awesome these kids are is a really wonderful thing. And as mayor, to be able to watch how that quality continues and how excited they are to come to Jamestown and play ball is a great thing.
Jamestown is among 200 individual and organizations who have been inducted into the Babe Ruth International Hall of Fame. Certainly a really big honor for them. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comment section down below. And we remind you, you can now watch us on your television directly through channel 716 on Roku. It's easy to get connected. Simply search channel 716 and add it to your device today. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter has the day off, so Andrew Stevenson filling in. And boy, it's becoming quite a steamy day out there, Andrew.
Yeah, and the steamy weather is going to last the rest of the week, but hopefully we get some relief coming as we head into the beginning of September. Right now outside it is 78 degrees out there under partly cloudy skies with a west wind in 8 dew point at 68, and it feels like 80 degrees out there. So yeah, it's going to be another steamy one out there today. Taking a look at the radar over the past 5 hours, at least across Chautauqua, Cattaraugus County, it's been pretty dry out there, but heading out towards Allegheny County in central New York, there's a few showers out there, and that's what it's going to be like today. Western New York, pretty dry out there. Few showers as you head out towards central New York. Yesterday, the high was 80 degrees with a low of 61. That's just above the average of 79 degrees, not close to the record of 93 degrees set in 1936 or the low of 38 set back in 1985. So for the rest of the afternoon today, we got partly to mostly cloudy skies as my clicker stopped working. But for the rest of the afternoon, partly mostly cloudy skies out there. Temperatures in the low 80s near the lake shore. Still not working. Here we go. Here it comes up. 82 degrees near the lake shore. 85 inland with partly cloudy skies. And again, an isolated shower or storm possible inland. How long will that heat last? Do we have any relief coming? I'll let you know coming up in just a couple of minutes. Hopefully I can get the clicker to work for the full weather.
That's the big question. How long are we going to be sweating it out this week? You let us know. 10 minutes time, we'll see you back. Well, tensions surrounding a car show slated to take place next month at a local Jamestown area park continue to grow as some in the community are taking offense to a councilwoman's comments against the Hispanic community. The issue was brought forward during Friday's Human Rights Commission meeting here in Jamestown. Commission member Justin Hubbard brought forward concerns from residents who say Ward 4 Councilwoman Marie Karuba's comments during last Monday's City Council work session upset Jamestown's Hispanic population.
It wasn't about the type of event, it was believing it to be a normal car show, and I've been told this is typical for a Hispanic car show. I think Jose mentioned that they would do the event with no speakers. They would do the event without, and it was unfamiliar to me when Councilman Russell told me that there was this two-step thing that sounds like backfiring, which in that area could sound like gunshots to people. Not everybody is aware of all of the events that occur at your car competition, and that in and of itself provoked issues for me as to would the police be getting calls that they're hearing gunshots.
Those on the commission acknowledged that her comments were offensive, however say the issue is heated on both sides. The groups believe that Karuba's comments were not made in malice and they do not want her stance to cause division within the community. The car show, hosted by the Los Contrincantes Car Club and Bike Crew, is tentatively slated to take place at Bergman Park on September 18th. After members of the council approved the original permit earlier this summer, several residents voiced their concerns to their respective representatives. Specifically, those living in the area are concerned about excessive noise levels that show could produce. The council is expected to discuss and entertain a motion to potentially alter or revoke that permit during its voting session next Monday. We reached out to Councilman Karuba for comment, but have not heard back yet as of our broadcast. A 37-year-old Jamestown man is behind bars after allegedly stabbing a woman with a knife during a domestic dispute in Kyantone yesterday. New York State police say that Joseph Piazza was taken into custody at a nearby residence following the alleged incident. Troopers say that an argument led to the alleged crime. He was transported to Chautauqua County Jail pending arraignment in that case. Police say the victim was treated at a local hospital for her injury. Well, coming up next, a lot more to tell you about. The masks are back for students at Jamestown's largest college, what other protocols they face when they return to class today. And later, our tour of the nation's capital coming to a close with a look at what to do in the heart of D.C. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Students are returning for the fall semester at SUNY JCC today, and now due to COVID-19 Delta variant concerns, face masks will be required for all. Officials announced that news late last week, saying face masks will be required in all campus buildings regardless of vaccination status. Previously, the college was going to allow those vaccinated against the virus to ditch their masks. Those who are rooming together, however, do not need to wear masks within their dorms, although guests who do not reside in the Hillside Suites as part of the Residential Life program are not allowed. This includes outside friends, families, and non-residential JCC students. The college says exceptions will be made for move-in and move-out days when up to 2 family members will be allowed to assist. Well, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration this morning granted full approval for the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for people ages 16 and older. This is the first time coronavirus vaccine has been approved by the FDA and is expected to open the door to more vaccine mandates. The vaccine has been authorized for emergency use in the United States since mid-December for people ages 16 and up. In May, the authorization was extended to those 12 and older. Out of more than 170 million people in the United States fully vaccinated against COVID-19, more than 92 million have received a shot. This weekend, officials familiar with the decision said they discussed how to prepare for the rollout once the FDA grants this full approval, given it will be a major messaging opportunity to encourage vaccination. Well, as Tropical Storm Henry weakens to a tropical depression, the risk for flash flooding remains high in parts of the Northeast today. Camila Burnell reports from Rhode Island with more on the damage parts of New York and other areas of the East Coast are feeling.
At its peak, Henri left more than 100,000 customers without power. And yes, this power is currently being restored. But more rain is expected in this area this afternoon. And overall, even though the storm is weakening, Henri has still kept many people under storm watches or warnings. Making landfall as a tropical storm along the Rhode Island coast,
it was crazy for a while.
Henri brought damaging winds to the northeast.
Scary watching the trees through my skylights waving back and forth.
And dangerous storm surge.
I started to walk. There was ankle deep water. I looked outside. It was like a raging river on each side. And then they came and they took us out in the boats. As the storm slows down over land, it threatens to dump more rain on already soaked areas. A flash flood watch is in effect until Monday evening for parts of central New York and northeast Pennsylvania. Back in Rhode Island, Henri leaving thousands in the dark.
Working all day, went to refuel, and generator's not working now. So we're trying to work on it to get it going because we don't know what time the power will be on.
The Edison Electric Institute says more than 13,000 power crews are deployed to help restore service after the storm.
Very concerned about the fact that we got a heat wave coming in the 90-degree territory beginning Tuesday. That's why we're really putting a great deal of importance on getting everybody back their electricity.
And Governor Jan McKee also saying that restoring power is going to be critical because, of course, it could be dangerous if you have hot and humid temperatures with no air conditioning. Many of the governors in the region also telling people to remain vigilant. Live in Newport, Rhode Island, I'm Camila Bernal. Back to you.
Camila, thank you. Well, today marks National Cuban Sandwich Day. This tasty pressed sandwich originated from Cuba but is pretty popular in Florida. Made with ham, roast pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, and mustard on Cuban bread, this popular dish pays tribute to the rich history of Cuban immigrants and their contributions to American culture. If you've never had one before today, it's the perfect time to try this Miami favorite. I got to tell you, there are some great places to get Cuban sandwiches and other delicious dishes here in Jamestown. Thanks so much for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comment section down below. Are you a Cuban sandwich lover? Are you not a Cuban sandwich lover? I'd certainly love to hear from you. And Andrew, I know we were talking before this show, you haven't had a Cuban sandwich before, right?
I might have one point. I'm thinking of something with like roast beef and like French or some kind of dressing on. I'm not sure if it's that one or something else I might have had in the past, but I might have to try that after the show.
And there's a lot of different combinations of it. I know one of the places right across from us, the Hotspot Cafe, they have a Cubano sandwich, which is an interesting take on it. And I actually just had that last week. So certainly something to give your palate a little bit of a taste. Good to see Kathy. She says she loves Cubans. Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't love? I mean, it's that delicious type of food. Great to see. Good to see Sam. Good to see Rosin, Tammy, and Sandy as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in here on Facebook Live Land, or maybe you're watching us on your television, channel 716. It's so easy to download. Just search channel 716 on Roku. Add it today. Lots of great local content to come, and I know even some rumblings that Mr. Hunter, he's not going to be leaving us, Andrew, but I know that he's going to be doing a couple of shows on there, so we might see more of you depending on how big Dakota gets in that Hollywood world. You never know.
I have to get in on the show with him.
Right, yeah. Hey, we could have like a behind-the-scenes weather show, like how the sausage is made.
Or he'll have to bring back his Peg the Geek meter.
Yeah, a whole segment on that.
Background information on some of the weather stuff that we do.
It'd be pretty cool. So today, a lot of people, speaking of cool, are looking for that cooler temperatures, but I know that summer is here and we're feeling the heat all this week.
And the dog days of summer. With that Cuban sandwich, you might want to get yourself some ice cream or a nice ice cold glass of lemonade for lunch today. Here is the weather breakdown, what you need to know for the upcoming week. We start the week off quiet today and tomorrow, other than a few showers off to the east. But it's going to be hot and humid for much of the upcoming week. We'll get a few showers and storms in here for Wednesday and Thursday, and by Thursday afternoon, we'll have a cold front move through, which will slightly cool it off for Friday, but it's not going to last, because by the weekend, it's going to warm up once again. Let's take a look at the muggy meter. It's going to feel muggy and oppressive at least through the middle of the week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Make sure you stay inside with those air conditioners and the fans. You're going to need them. Thursday, before the cold front moves through, it's going to still feel muggy out there. But Friday, as I said, a little less muggy out there and humid. If you're not a fan of the warm temperatures and the humidity, well, I don't have much good news for you. The NOAA 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, which runs through the beginning of September, continues to have the Northeast and the Great Lakes with above average temperatures. So yeah, it's going to at least stick around to the beginning of September. I guess if you want the cooler area, you might have to go out towards Montana. But eventually, we will get into the cooler air. And now let's take a look at future look, what we have for the next 48 hours. At least for today, like I said, western New York area is going to be pretty quiet out there. A few showers, thunderstorms off to the east. And as we head into tonight, a few clouds, some fog develops. But as we head into tomorrow, it's going to be a fairly nice day out there. A sunny day for tomorrow, not many clouds out there. We will start to get into a few clouds and maybe a few showers, as you can see, as we head in towards Wednesday morning with a system moving through with a few showers and thunderstorms. For the rest of this afternoon, Temperatures in the low 80s near the lakeshore, mid 80s inland, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Again, isolated storm possible inland. As we head into tonight, a mainly clear night out there. Went a little too far on that one. Mainly clear skies tonight with temperatures in the low 60s in the valleys, close to the 70 in the lakeshore, maybe some patchy fog across the southern tier. And now let's take a look at the next 7 days. Again, a few showers and thunderstorms for Wednesday and Thursday. We'll cool off as we head into Friday, but we'll warm back up as we head into next weekend with a few showers and thunderstorms. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. As we wrap up our week-long Reopening DC series, of course, there's a lot to see in the nation's capital. So our Washington correspondent, Matt Knadler, is taking us around town today to see what's open, what's closed, and what it means if you're visiting this summer.
The National Mall here in Washington is lined with plenty of tourist hotspots. Many of these buildings are home to Smithsonian museums, from natural history to American history to the African American Museum of History and Culture. Smithsonian gradually reopened to visitors this spring and early summer. Today, the Hirshhorn Museum reopens, and the National Postal Museum caps off their reopening next Friday. Smithsonian officials were not available for an on-camera interview for this visit, but they did provide us these photos from inside the museums. Visitors are encouraged to check the Smithsonian website for the full COVID safety protocol. The next stop for many visitors, down the street to the U.S. Capitol. And there is some good news and bad news here. The good news first. So the fences surrounding the Capitol after the January 6th attacks were removed earlier this summer. You can now walk up to the Capitol building again and snap some photos. The bad news, tours of the Capitol are still closed to the public, a measure that's been in place since the pandemic began. There is also plenty to see over here as well. The Supreme Court and Library of Congress are across the street. And of course, there's the White House, the monuments, the National Archives, and so many other popular spots to see in the nation's capital. Washington and the surrounding area is full of history, and now a future that's, once again, open to visitors. In Washington, Matt Knadler reporting.
All right, Matt, thank you for that excellent series. And when you look at it, Dakota, there really is a lot to do. I think we've talked about this on the show last week when we first kicked off this series on Tuesday, and that there are so many landmarks and so many monuments. And unfortunately, during the pandemic, a lot of people weren't able to go because so many things were closed. But now a really great, 4-hour drive. You could spend the night somewhere. And for me personally, I can say that as a kid, I loved going to D.C. and seeing the White House and Congress. And one of the biggest things that I actually will remember as a child, 7, 8 years old, is we went on a tour with Congressman Tom Reed's office. And they showed us around, and Congress wasn't in session, so I actually got to go and sit where the House of Representatives would go and go in and you sit at the seats and see the speaker's area. And one of the things that I actually took away from the whole visit is, not that many people get to go see that, but yet it's the people's house, and that's where so much happens that impacts all of our lives. So I think it's really cool if you can, as things reopen, take a chance and especially get kids out there, right, and to interact with it. I think it'd be cool. So do you have any big things in D.C., Andrew, that you would want to see or maybe have seen?
I think it'd take about 4 hours to drive, but I think I would like to take a train down there. If you take a train from New York City, take it down to D.C. and then visit the White House, and be interested in the view, especially if you have kids, teach them about the history of the United States government, and be an interesting little learning experience for the kids. Yeah,
and I think that's one of the interesting things that Matt did last Friday was with the U.S. Army Museum, and showing us kind of this very first museum of its kind for the very first branch of our military that we haven't had. So there is a lot of new things to go see in D.C., which I think if you can, take advantage of it for sure. It's great to see Lynn, good to see Elaine, Tom, and Missy. Hopefully you are all having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in. Well, now let's get a final check of our weather forecast, Andrew. And we've been talking about it throughout much of the show, but this week the story is the heat.
And the heat and humidity is going to pretty much continue right through the end of August and to the beginning of September. Like I said earlier, if you're not a fan of the heat and humidity, we'll have to wait at least to the beginning of September, and hopefully we get some cooler air in, because the whole Northeast and Great Lakes and even down towards the D.C. area is going to be with above average temperatures. So you're going to need the air conditioner, the fans, and that ice cold glass of lemonade with some ice cream if it doesn't melt first outside.
Yeah. It's like I feel like we have like this one final blast of summer. Like they turn the heat up, and then fall comes and winter comes, and I don't know. Are you ready for pumpkin spice season?
Well, I'm a fan of the pumpkin spice cappuccino.
Me too. I'm ready for it. I know it's already available at some places. Like you can get the pumpkin spice stuff.
And pumpkin spice ice cream too. I hope they had that. That's good too. They have pumpkin spice everything: ice cream, yogurt, cereal, and the list goes on for pumpkin spice candles and.
It smells good. I can't wait for it. Honestly, I don't mind bundling up on a cool fall day. So I think a lot of people, especially after this heat, are going to be looking forward to it. So. All right, Andrew, thank you. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news does continue 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. We'll remind you, watch us now on TV. There's many ways to catch us, but the easiest is by downloading on a Roku device, channel 716 you can subscribe to great programming like this and watch us 24/7. We'll leave you with this live look over Randolph in Cattaraugus County. Stay cool today. We'll see you back here tomorrow, live at noon.